Hi, guys. I am a native New Yorker. Any others here? All right. I'm a native New Yorker, but I spent a long time living in San Francisco. And San Francisco is a really great city to perfect your gaydar. And if you're not familiar with what gaydar is, it's when you have the ability to just know when somebody's gay. And my gaydar was so bad, I didn't know I was gay till I was 34. So I tweaked it a little bit in San Francisco. I was in a gay bar in San Francisco because, well, that's where they put us. And somebody drugged my drink. I got the date rape drink. And then they didn't fuck me. Do you know how that shatters your confidence? When someone calls an audible on your rape, it's pretty crushing. So I'm from New York. I spent most of my adult life in Manhattan, but I had to leave, and I left because of the noise. And it wasn't the loud sirens or the loud music. It was this one particular female voice that I heard coming out of multiple different women's mouths. And I want to share with you 3 of the things I overheard in the voice I overheard them that caused me to leave. Here's the first one. I overheard this in this voice. That Chipotle is a really good one. It's troubling, especially in that voice. I heard the same voice coming out of another woman's mouth who was on a date with a guy who asked her, "When's your birthday?" And she said in this voice, "I don't think I really have a birthday because I was a C-section. So I have a day that I was taken out, but I wouldn't call it a birthday." It's also troubling. I overheard that same voice coming out of another woman's mouth, not too far from here. This is what I overheard her say. "I think that short, bald guy's listening to us." So I had to leave. When I did live in Manhattan, though, I lived on 11th Street, across from this place called Webster Hall, where people from New Jersey like to come and party. And people would park their cars in front of my apartment and blast music all night. And I would go down at 2 in the morning. I'd be like, "Hey guys, it's really late. Can you keep it down, please?" And they would say, "No, faggot." So, I know. But I developed a way to get them to cooperate. What I did is I created a fake 3-year-old daughter. And I would go down at 2 in the morning. I'd be like, "Hey guys, I got a 3-year-old daughter upstairs and she just went to bed. Do you think you can keep that down?" And then they would always say yes. But I'm such a stickler for story that she's now 6. And I refuse to vaccinate her. I will not do it. So it's causing all these problems at the fake PTA that I created. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. As a native New Yorker, I've experienced all 5 stages of grief. And if you're not familiar with the stages, they are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and then acceptance. Or as I like to call the stages, Manhattan, Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island. Manhattan's denial, totally. You come to this island thinking you're gonna get something like a bedroom with a door. You're in denial. And if you've seen the murder rate in the Bronx, you know that that's pure anger. And then there's the bargaining of Brooklyn. No, it's the city-ish. And then you move into the depression of Queens, because no one's gonna visit you in Queens. And then there's happiness and acceptance in Staten Island. You ever meet anyone from Staten Island? Happiest people you will ever meet. Not a hope or dream in the bucket. They've given up and they've accepted where they are in life. I'm jealous. I'm so jealous. I'm not for more government regulation, but I think we need to make vaping on the streets of New York City illegal. This city is supposed to smell like vomit and piss, not strawberries. You're ruining it for everybody. If you're gonna vape in the city, you should have to vape odors indigenous to the area. Like a vomited margarita on the Lower East Side from an NYU freshman. That should be the odor. But I love New York in the fall. It's my favorite time of year. I love watching the homeless people change color. It's my favorite time of the city. It's nice, I like it here. You know, it's a hard time that we're living in right now, and I think a lot of it is due to the president. And even when he was campaigning, he wanted us to fear others. He wanted us to fear Mexicans. He told us that Mexicans were gonna take our jobs. Let me tell you something. Mexicans are not gonna take your jobs. Robots are gonna take your jobs. And once the robots have all the jobs. Trust me, Mexican robots are going to take their jobs. Lazy Mexican robots, sleeping on the factory floor. I try to stay positive given the world that we're living in. And the way I do that is I constantly remind myself that now every building is a pre-war building. So that's good. You gotta take the good where you can get it. Gotta take the good where you can get it. I'm Jeff Greenspan. Have a great night. Thanks.